to the stage. Welcome, Terry. So happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. I am so happy to be here. Yes. My first time with you. It's exciting.
It is exciting, isn't it?
Yes, I had no idea I'm a newbie, right? And I just was excited to find out what goes on here, and the invitation to participate is greatly appreciated.
Well, thank you so much. This is our monthly TED style talk, and our speakers speak for 20 minutes. So we have our audience here. You should be able to see the comments to the side that people are making online. So let's give Terry a huge, warm WEN welcome. So hopefully she can see your comments. I will be here. I'm going to go ahead and give you the stage, if that's okay, Terry. Awesome. Okay, here you go.
Thank you so much. This is just such a pleasure for me. I appreciate the opportunity to speak and to share my insights. I am new to the entrepreneurship community. I was a school teacher for 40 years and now am a consultant and life coach and leadership coach. And so I have an opportunity to work with a variety of people in a variety of contexts and scenarios. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of my experience and my reflection and gaining insights into being a leader. I had the opportunity to be a leader most of my career. I was in the administration of education and just had wonderful opportunities to meet with and influence abundant colleagues. And so I had the opportunity of coaching teachers and coaching student teachers and working with administrators. And through that, I kind of developed a concept and idea about leadership. When I was in the classroom, I had the distinct pleasure, and some people go, I was a kindergarten teacher. And I love teaching young children. The reason I love teaching them, which is why entrepreneurship is so exciting to me, is that they were like sponges. They wanted to learn so much, and they were so eager to go forward and move, and they didn't have all those fears that we as adults sometimes have in terms of stepping out and leading. And so I thought when I first gave my first talk to grown-ups, I talked about a book that I used to teach in kindergarten. And you may be familiar with this book, The Little Engine That Could. If you recall the story, that was a quick synopsis. There was a train that broke down, and the children couldn't get to the other side of the mountain and take all the things that they had. And a myriad of trains came by that weren't willing to help. And then finally this little engine came. And you all know the mantra, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And this little engine pulled this disabled train over the mountain down to the boys and girls on the other side. And then he said, I knew I could, I knew I could, I knew I could. And I think that relates to our relationships in our businesses. And as we're entrepreneurs and building a business to serve others, that we think we can. And once we take those steps, we know we can, and we go forward and we move. Just like the last speaker was talking about momentum and movement, that little train knew they could move, and they did. And what was interesting about that story that I kind of want to take into my 3 opportunities for us to develop leadership is that, you know what, it's never too late, and we all break down. And we can do anything when we're willing to ask for help. So those are kind of 3 things that I've learned. I'm 78 years old. I began my business when I was in my late 60s. I recently ran for city council at 74, and right now at 78, I'm the mayor of my city. So that's kind of a testament to these 3 principles I'm going to share with you today about how to become a leader and how to be able to understand that it's never too late in your life to step out. It's never too late to recognize that, yep, you're going to break down sometimes, and never too late to be willing to ask for help. So that's kind of, I want to build that foundation about me as a person and my mindset moving forward to be an influencer. If we want to have success, we want to be significant. And that means we're going to bring significance to the lives of others, those that we serve. And I just got to hear the last few minutes of the previous speaker, and I loved what she said about results. and that, we are the guide to help people to get results. And so in my business, I want people to be successful and to build significance and to face their fear and move forward anyway. That's what we can do if we are willing to move forward and we're willing to ask for help. So I want to share with you 3 C's, the letter C, that I believe are super important when you want to be a leader. And that's a leader in your own life, a leader in the lives of those you love, and a leader in the life of those you serve, so that indeed your success comes from being a significant guide to others in their life. So first of all, I want to talk about courage. I think courage is important when we're making choices. It's always, every choice we make, every choice point that comes to us in our life requires courage. Courage to step out, courage to get out of our comfort zone, courage to take risks, courage to move forward. And so I think that courage is the willingness to change, the willingness to look forward. All of us, a funny thing that I heard Tyler Perry say at one time is that change is like heaven. Everyone wants to get there, but nobody wants to die. And so it's just, changing the way that we move forward, being aware of what's stopping us, what's keeping us from stepping out of our comfort zone is fear. So the courage to face fear, to face that and to do it anyway. And you hear that from many, many coaches. I believe that if we just take fear's hand and we walk down the path together, that we don't want to eliminate fear. Fear can be our friend. I mean, fear lets us know when we're in danger physically and emotionally. Fear doesn't know the difference between emotional and physical fear. And so oftentimes it's smarter than we are. It knows more about us than we know about ourselves because it's been with us for a very long time. And when you think about neurological research, they used to think that fear resided in one part of our brain and that that's where it was. Now in the latest research, they know that fear is in every part of our brain. And so it's not just in one place. So it can be sparked and it can take off at any moment in any situation. And we just need to be aware of whether it's a fear of danger that could affect us physically, emotionally, and then to move forward. Fear also, they've discovered in the last few years, which I think is extremely interesting, is that in our DNA, we also carry the fears of our ancestors. So we might have fears that are not even related to our experiences. And so also to being aware of where does that fear coming from? Is it true or am I making it up? Is it something that I can step by step travel down the road making progress with that fear beside me? So courage to face our fears, to understand our fears, to analyze our fears, and to do it anyway. Not touch a hot stove anyway, but, do, if it's an emotional fear that has been maybe not even in our experience. So really looking at fear and having the courage to face that. So that's the first C, courage to step out, courage like the little engine that could, to give a go and take that engine over the mountain and to conquer that fear with courage. And then the second one I want to talk about is character. Now, I've known in my life that words have different meanings to different people, for sure. So when we talk about character, there's a lot of definitions for what character is. To me, character is who you are when no one is looking. So what do you do? What do you do? How do you choose the right thing for you to do because it's the right thing to do? So character has a lot of different meanings, but to me, it's being true to yourself. It's understanding and knowing your values and then acting upon those values that are true to you. And in our lives, we can often be criticized by others because of our values, because of the way that we live our lives. But it's living true to ourselves is character. And so if we have the courage to face our fears and to do the right thing and to be true to ourselves, then that's character. And being clear and concise about what that character is. A lot of times I find clients that I work with that are embedded in fear and unable to move past those brick walls that are facing them because of their fears. They're not clear on who they are, and they haven't delineated the character, the values that build their character. And so clarity becomes really important when you're defining your character. Because I've had multiple years of experience and I now, I'm a great grandmother, I'm pretty clear on what my values are. And I can guide my character and the things that I think, the things that I say, and the things that I do based upon my values and my character. And I've developed the courage to do that. And I don't look at other people's opinions and how other people are affected as a litmus test for how I live my life. And so as an entrepreneur and a business owner, you'll attract the people that are attracted to the character that you exhibit, to the values that you live by. And so having the courage to be absolutely true to yourself affects the clients that you are able to help find significance in their life and make those changes that will help them to be successful and to be courageous in their own lives and in their own decision making. And then collaboration. You know how the little engine asked for help and worked with others? Collaboration is so important. We cannot be fearless alone, and we cannot be successful alone. So it's important that we surround ourselves with people that we can collaborate with. Doesn't mean that they have the same ideas and values that we have, or that they think the way we think, because if you've studied I can't think of his first name. It just went out. It came in and went out again. Ms. Wiggins, who studied change and studied collaboration and the nature of change. I know in my world of education, Grant Wiggins was one of the premier researchers on how to affect positive change and to collaborate. And he says groupthink, where everybody thinks the same and has the same values and the same goals and way of solving problems, is dangerous. In fact, there will be no growth in your business when everyone thinks the same. So it's that brilliance of bringing together people with different ways of processing, different ways of making decisions, different ways and urgency of making decisions, all those things that you figure out through the DISC and the Myers-Briggs, those ways that you bring groups together so that they can be successful and significant in instituting change in their own lives as well as a corporation or a business. So collaboration, that land of diversity where you can bring people together to solve problems and take risks and be vulnerable with each other and really work together. And I find in communities that I am associated with, like this community that I'm just learning how to navigate, other communities, my coaching community, my city municipality community, there's definitely a variety of diversity when you're working in a government situation and in a community with a city council and working with a staff. So there's so many opportunities to collaborate with vulnerability, yet with that same character. I find that I have more influence and significance within my municipal government community because I stand true to who I am. And so that my opinion is brought forward in a way that is consistent and a way that is really, the potential to make a difference and to really have significance in that community and have success in building that collaboration is so important. So we're courageous, we are true to our character, and we collaborate effectively. In other words, we listen. We listen with an eye to learning, and we have empathy and compassion. You can call that love for one another as we collaborate. So it's that listening where you're not listening to respond, you're listening to understand. And in collaborative communities, that listening skill, you feel it when you're in a group and you're working with someone one-on-one or in a group situation to solve a problem or to share your understanding. The person who's listening just to say what they want to say. So they're not really listening to you. They're listening to respond to you, not listening to understand what you're saying. So that capacity to really be a listener is so important when you're collaborating. That also engages in your character and how you treat others and how you listen and respond to others in a way that builds that nature to collaborate. And if you're listening with just your ears, you're not listening with your eyes. Have you ever been in a situation when someone doesn't have eye contact with you when they're listening? Yeah, that's a pretty big turnoff to me as well. So you're listening with your ears to understand, you're listening with your eyes to show that you're engaged. And then you listen with your heart so that you show that empathy and that understanding that really helps people to want to engage with you and listen to you. So that affects your ability to be, to the words are just flying out of my mind. That's one thing when you're 78 years old, you want to say, oh my goodness, I forgot the word I wanted to say, but it builds your sustainability to have a significant impact on others. So that listening, truly listening, and then learning. Are you open? Are you vulnerable? Are you open-hearted to learn from others as you listen? Or are you just going to stay in your, this is the way it's got to be. I'm not gonna be flexible. I'm not going to learn. I'm just going to expound my opinion. Now that's probably going to not build effectiveness in your ability to collaborate with others. So that having that courage to be vulnerable, to be open, and then having that character to stay true to your values, and then being willing to collaborate with others. And that means to learn from others. And as you're problem solving or as you're coaching and as you're working together and guiding, I love the way that the previous speaker talked about a guide, guiding others to the results that they want. It's that willingness to listen, learn, and love others, or have compassion for others, or be kind to others, whatever word you want to use. The word I use is love. So that's the first three C's of leadership. And going forward from that, and I know that I'm on a time frame, so I want to be sure that I get all four of them in before, or three of them in there. The last one after collaborate is the courage, the character, the collaborate, then that all comes together in the big C of choice. So you can choose to be courageous when you're afraid. You can choose the character you need to be clear on the choice of your character, how you're going to respond, how you're going to portray your values in a situation. And you choose to collaborate, and you choose that with vulnerability and with compassion or empathy, and you choose to seize every opportunity. And I know seize starts with an S, but it sounds like a C word. You're going to seize every possibility, because leadership is a choice. So if you want to be a leader in your own life, and you want to help lead others to the results that they value and want to have, and you want to lead as a collaborator, as a person who listens, as a person who learns, and as a person who loves, then that's really the important way to look at yourself as a leader. So you can choose to lead. And for me, that's, I tell my friends, and when I'm speaking in groups and when I'm coaching, I tell people, I think I chose to lead when I was in the 3rd grade. I formed a little club, and I wanted to be the president of the club because I wanted to lead my friends to fun and to excitement, as a 3rd grader might think. And so that club, my first step as a leader was the Chattering Chipmunks. And so we were the Chattering Chipmunks, and that was my first foray into leadership. In January, I became the mayor of my city, and that was an opportunity for me for a lifetime of looking for opportunities to be courageous, to collaborate, to develop my character. I made the choice to continue being a leader. And I don't know what's next for me, but I just love this opportunity to share with you the concept of the little engine who thought she could, and just took out the courage and the character and the collaboration and made the choice to help others, that she became significant in the lives of hundreds of children as they read the book, The Little Engine That Could. So thank you so much for letting me have this opportunity to share with you some of my thoughts around leadership. So remember, courage, character, collaboration, and the choice to be a leader. So thank you. Thank you, Haley, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Terry, for doing this presentation today. How would somebody go about getting in touch with you if they wanted to reach you?
Sure. I have my website. My website is terryasayrecoaching.com. So you can find me there. I'm on Facebook. I'm on all of the social medias. I'm not a real social media techie, but I'm there under Terry A. Sayre, so you can find me there. I'd love to connect with any of you just to get to know more about this community and how we can work together to make significant changes for the lives of others.
I love that so much. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here. Everybody, let's give Terry a huge round of applause. Give her a huge thank you. And I love the little engine that could. It was always one of my favorite stories growing up, and it has stuck with me today. Sometimes when I am stuck in my business, I remember the little engine that could.
Yeah, it's a great thing. It's a great little litmus test to see, oh, that little engine was the smallest engine that came along, and yet that little engine pulled that great big train over the mountain so the kids could have all their toys.
Absolutely. Love it. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And let's give Terry a huge round of applause. Thank you, Terry, for being here today. I really, really appreciate you. And with that,